A little naked.
Looks a little naked.
We have Lauren on, the queen of fashion.
I know. Is this fashionable enough? I
Yeah,
don't
I think so.
know. Okay,
I
it's a
think
fun
so.
jean jacket collab. It's actually nothing crazy. Citizens of Humanity and Argent. That's probably something Jennifer Fisher
For
told me to buy.
sure.
Okay. If we have an episode that's dedicated to the row, which would be interesting, Mary Kate or Ashley, if both, fabulous.
When we discuss the row, it's Ashley and Mary Kate. They switch
Yes.
it.
You know what? It is what it is.
Guys, all right, I'm trying to figure out where to put this. I know. Can you see me?
We see your
Yeah.
torso,
Oh, okay.
and we hear your iconic, famous voice. And I have to say, I'm already plotting. Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, first of all, you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, so before we even get started, where are you right now?
I'm in my apartment
In New York.
in New York.
Welcome back to Hustle and Schmear. I'm Jason Salstein.
And I'm Liz Cohen.
Today we have a real treat. Some would say I selfishly started this podcast with Liz just to interview today's woman of the hour.
It's true. She moves from couture to conversation without missing a beat, always making you feel like you have a front row seat. Before influencer was even a word, today's guest was an acclaimed journalist, already bringing you backstage, and yes, even in bed with Alexander McQueen.
As the host of Behind the Velvet Rope, she didn't just cover fashion, she lived it. She was the first person I ever saw walk into design studios and showrooms and bring that magic right into our living rooms.
She made fashion fearless, human, and just a little bit mischievous.
For me, she is a blueprint. She makes luxury approachable and showcases New York fashion and 7th Avenue, proving that you can belong in a world even if you start far from it.
Please welcome the original fashion insider, velvet rope skipper, and forever icon, Lauren
Lauren
Ezersky.
Hey,
Ezersky!
guys. Well, how am I gonna live up to that introduction? That's amazing. I'm just listening to all the things that you said I did, and I guess I did a lot of those things.
You sure did. I watched every one of them.
Without even realizing it. It
Right?
was fun. It was a different time. It was just more relaxed, and you can just go up and talk to someone. You didn't have to go through 5,000 public relations people. It was
Right.
just a whole nother world, and it was fun. That's all I can say.
Bring us back, though, we're from your origin story. You're from Yonkers. What was it like growing up in Yonkers?
I'm from Yonkers. The minute I had a brain, I knew I had to get out of there. The best view of Yonkers is in the rear view mirror, I always like to say. Because it was, even though it's 20 minutes from the city, just small town mentality. And I just knew I wanted to leave. I just knew it wasn't for me. I had friends, good friends, and I think they're still there. Like a lot of them are still there.
Really?
And happily so, which is great. But I just knew I wanted to do something different. And I just loved fashion. And I just thought maybe I could be a buyer. That's what I originally wanted to do. And I couldn't get hired as a buyer. Like nobody would hire me. And then finally I did get hired, and I was in linens and domestics. So I had to go up to linens. I had to go to the showrooms of like towel makers and all that kind of thing. And it was cool, but it wasn't really fashion.
What was your first memory of fashion?
Probably my grandmother's sheets. I remember going into her drawer and taking out these beautiful white sheets and cutting them up and making a dress. And she flipped out. They were really beautiful, nice, pristine cotton sheets. And she just was like, didn't understand. My grandmother's from Europe. She's like, doesn't understand fashion at all. Not at all. She would wear house dresses, and they were like her gowns, whatever. She was into that.
Yeah, the like moo style. I remember like back in the day, my great aunt wore moo-moos.
Like moo-moo, like a house dress. I mean,
yeah, like a house dress.
And
Yeah, but then Betsy Johnson made him sexy and made him famous,
Yeah, that was it. And then I remember like she cooked me spaghetti one time, and it was macaroni. And I said, well, where's the sauce? And she put ketchup on it. She just was not understanding, but she was really fun. We had a good time together.
So you're selling linens. When did you get into true fashion, and how did the Behind the Velvet Ropes actually start?
You
Tell
know,
us
I
that.
actually always loved fashion. I always used to look at the magazines and see who the hair designer was and the makeup artist and the clothing designer. And I always had this passion. And I don't know, one day I was at this club dancing and this guy came up to me and said, "Would you like to be a guest on our show?" This is the original Behind the Velvet Ropes. And I said, sure, why not? And I went on as a guest. It was only the first or second episode, I think. And the girl who was doing the fashion had some kind of upset argument, whatever, I don't know. And she left. And then they asked me if I would want to do the fashion. And I said, oh my God, like I've never done it before, but yeah. And I called up a friend of mine who was the stylist to Scavullo, Sean Burns, and I said, can I get an interview with Francesco Scavullo, who at that time was a major photographer for Cosmopolitan. And so somehow I got this interview, and I was awful, but he was really gracious, and that was how it started. And then someone said, oh, you should do Paper Magazine. And I met with Kim and David, the owners, and they said, go do Donna Karen. If you do it and we like it, we'll print it. And that was it. Somehow I got her too. That's how it started. I just always had a passion for clothes.
And
Go ahead.
and were you involved in the editing after? Or were you just procuring the guests and being the host? The show is it's so raw and it's so real, and you're being yourself. How did you produce a show back then?
I don't know that you saw the original, because there were three of us in the original. There was Eric Coles, who did music. There was Earl Crittenden, who did theatrical actors and producers and whatever, and I did fashion. So I was only 1/3 of the show.
Yeah, I was just so obsessed watching you doing Anna Sui and Marc Jacobs. I mean, you were...
That was the second Velvet Roll, because the first one, everybody just quit. No one made money. They didn't want to do it anymore. And I said, I'm going to go get a sponsor. And I did. And I got MAC Cosmetics, and I got Moet and Chandon. And I just went out and shot stuff and made it primarily fashion and style. And then that's when I kind of made it happen for me more.
What was your pitch when you're going out to MAC and you're pivoting the show?
You know what? Let's see. I think I was at a fashion show, and I remember Francois Nars was talking to John Dempsey, who was the head of MAC at that point, MAC Cosmetics. And he was talking about giving him money to sponsor something or do something. And I marched right up and said, well, if you're giving him money, I want some money too. And he's like, okay, call me Monday. And I did. And he came through, and he sponsored Behind the Velvet Ropes for pretty much the entirety of the show for a decade.
And when you were filming Behind the Velvet Ropes, did you look at yourself more as a journalist, or were you in charge of everything as well, on how you wanted to look, where you wanted to be?
When I did it myself, I was in charge of everything, and it was just a lot, because I had to make the appointments, and you had to do 5 interviews in one day, because I could only hire the camera for one day because it's really expensive. We didn't have iPhones and everything now you could just go shoot on. I had to have a cameraman, I had an editor, so it was more costly and more, labor intensive. But,
and you were the one reaching out to Kelly Catrone to make sure that you were...
Yeah, I love Kelly. I just saw her recently for the first time in a while.
She was my first PR. I used to have a shoe line, and she was my publicist when I was 10 years old. She was amazing.
She's great. She's just still in the business, still hustling, still doing it. I always liked her.
Shout out People's Revolution. When you went on for Behind the Velvet Ropes 2 and it was on your own, do you remember what that first episode was like? Do you remember when you were doing it solo, what that was like?
I had a girlfriend come with me who did another TV show, and she helped me produce it. We just went from place to place to place. She's great, my friend Karen. But then I realized, I really just do what I do, and I really didn't need to have anybody else. I just set everything up and made the appointments, hired the camera, hired the editor. And it just became a very smooth operation. I would go shoot, get the stuff to my editor, sit with him a little bit. And then after a couple of shows, I didn't even have to really sit with him. He could just do it. And then I would look at the finished product and say, yeah. And then we would send it to E, which had the style channel.
So you went from New York Public Access TV to the Style Network, correct?
The Style, because they were looking for more programming. And that was E's sister channel. And they bought it, and they had it on for about a decade. And it was in a lot of countries, Greece and the Middle East, a lot of places too.
Kind of incredible, actually.
And then they just stopped picking it up, and that was it.
But wait, during that, just going back to that time, well, number one, to me, it's like just as much about you and your personality as it is whoever you're interviewing. So I'm sure that's kind of what kept the longevity of it. But was there one show or something that you were covering where you were like, this is history in the making, this is the best? Is there one that sticks out?
No, no, you really didn't know. I mean, I knew like I'm interviewing Karl Lagerfeld or
Right.
Galliano, and I knew that they were these incredible designers that I so respected,
Mm-hmm.
but I really didn't think it would have the impact that it
Mm.
did. And a lot of people still come up to me and say, "Oh, you know, I got into fashion because I watched your show," or "I
I mean,
moved to New York because I watched your show." And it was just a fun show. It wasn't really serious like Elsa Clench. I think at the time she was one of the first people on CNN. And she was
mm.
very serious in her interviews. And I'm not. I was just like
But that's
fun,
what made it so
you
relatable.
know.
You really broke down this barrier.
You made it fun, which is like not for nothing. That's what we're trying to do here. Like there's a funness to it, you know.
Well,
But
I
that was
agree, but little did anybody know there was a bunch of shows when I started. There was Fashion File with my
Mm.
friend Tim Blanks. There was
Yeah.
House of Style with Cindy Crawford.
Oh,
There was Jeannie Becker, which I love. Jeannie's great. We were always
well,
backstage together. You know, we're just all in the same boat. Everybody was very okay. Just you go first, and I'll wait or whatever. It was just easier.
did
And
you consciously think about making the show where it was different than all those
no,
other?
I just was me, and I just did what I did. And if people liked it, that was great. And if they didn't, then they didn't. What can I do? I never really changed for anyone. I was really lucky that I had the full control of doing what I want. I would make a 30-minute show, and then I would send it to Style, and then they would take out like 7 minutes for commercials and stuff, which I had no. They just did what they did. I didn't want to deal with it.
yeah,
It
they had,
just it was a lot of work.
yeah.
And that was early aughts, late 90s. Now we're in 2025. You're still obviously a fashionista and we see you shopping. What do you think has changed the most in the fashion industry? For
Oh
better or
God. Well, I think for one, it's much more democratic
Mm,
because you can go to Zara and get something fabulous, or
mm,
H&M. Like everybody's doing collaborations, or
right.
I think even the Gap. I think it's who's doing the Gap. It's
Zach Posen?
Zach Posen. So
Yeah.
yeah, and so you can look good for less money. You don't have to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars. Although Schiaparelli is really expensive, and if you want it, that's what you have to pay.
Right.
So I think it's democratic, and you can buy something for less too. And I think there's way more designers, and I think it's harder for a designer to make it because there's so much competition. Years ago, they'd put you in a store like Bloomingdale's or Saks, and they would give you time to get your customer. They keep buying your line. Today, I think if you don't sell right away, you're out. There's just so many designers. So it has its pros and cons, I would say, both. I still love it, but I'm not as, I guess, like obsessed as I was. I would love to do my show again because there's not any
There's nothing
at
around.
all.
It's like we've got
There's
nobody
not.
talking in that way.
There's no interview the way that you had that microphone in their face and you really allowed designers, they just spoke off the cuff with
Well,
you and
that's
said,
what I wanted. That's what I like to do. I went backstage. I talked to the designer. What was their inspiration or whatever, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did. So, but I can't think of any show today that covers
no.
fashion.
Let's talk designers. I'm going to name some names that you interviewed and what would be the first memory or the first thought that you think of.
Yeah.
So, Vivienne Westwood.
Oh, a pain in the ass, but fabulous. But I loved her. She was a tough cookie, and she had her, likes and dislikes, and I respected that.
Karl Lagerfeld.
Very sweet and flighty, very, very fabulous, very dramatic.
Alexander McQueen, 1998 interview in
Well,
bed.
really special. He just allowed me to just get in bed with him. He was probably didn't even remember who I was from the night before that he promised that I could do an interview. And I
Yeah.
just called him like, just get in bed, just whatever. And I'm just coming in, and breakfast came, and it was all really fun. People want to see that. I don't think they want to necessarily see someone who is prepared. That's when you asked me earlier, well, how do you want to be introduced? I'm like, I don't even know. What do you think I am? I don't know. I'm still defining that.
Marc Jacobs.
Love Mark. Just a fun guy. We still correspond every now and then. He's really great.
And if you had the show now, who would you want to speak with?
Well, I'm loving the new guy for Dries Van Noten, and I'm loving Schiaparelli.
Daniel Rossberry. And
Daniel is doing amazing things, so I would love to interview him. I met him. He's a really lovely guy, really down to earth. He's a Texas boy. And I still like Tom Ford. He's still doing, even though he's like out of it, whatever, they're still following his style, I mean, I don't know, there's so many good designers, but you have to pick and choose because you just can't buy everything.
so
Right.
Liz and I have this thing with the row. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. We just want to know, do you own any row clothing?
I do not own any row, and I do like it.
Yeah.
But it's a
Is it
little,
too minimalist? Like, what's your
it's
thought on
very
the
minimalist and very simple for me. I
Yeah.
think I was looking at shoes one time. I can't think of anything that I ever bought from them, but I do like the line. But I go for something a little more avant-garde, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're definitely doing great work. They're definitely
No,
doing
of course. The quality is great.
Okay, so this is obviously a no, but did you ever consciously craft Lauren Ezersky, the character, or was it just you being you? I mean, you're on film, and did you ever think,
No,
hey, okay.
no. I don't even think about it. I just go and do what I do, and that's it. And if, like I said, if you like it, you like it. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And that's
What do
it.
you think resonated with so many people, besides obviously your candor and
It wasn't intimidating. It wasn't, you have to wear this or you're not in fashion or you're not going to look good. It was just telling what was happening and what the designers were doing, basically. And that's it. Even if I covered a designer that I may not have loved that particular show that season, there's something for everybody. I'm not the ultimate, arbiter of what's good taste. I know what's for me, but someone has to make their own decision what they like.
I fully agree. And I think that's what I love. And to me, you exude New Yorkness and just the love of the city. And I think that's what's so great about New York City as well. You get to explore yourself through fashion. And I feel like New York allows you to do that more than other
Well, New
cities.
York is great. I mean, I used to interview the cab drivers on the way to the interview. I used to use the elevator guys interview the elevator guys who took me up into the.
Yeah,
They're all part of the lifeblood of fashion.
100%.
Every single one of them, an operator, a garment rack pusher. I mean, they all have something in the business. It's not just the designer. You have the zipper makers, the pattern makers, the button makers, the trimmings. There's just a lot going on. There's not just one person working in it. It's hundreds, literally, to make one.
Right.
Speaking of New York,
Yes.
what's your favorite place in New York City?
Ooh, that's really hard.
I know.
Well, now you know what? I don't know. I just love going everywhere. I go downtown, I go uptown. I'm a citizen of the city and I just like it all. I love the museums I go to. I just love the
You were
city.
recently at a Broadway show.
Yes, you can leave your house and literally on a Wednesday go and buy a ticket, a half price ticket to the theater, 47th Street or whatever it is. They have the ticket booths. You can just go and do whatever you want to do in 5 minutes. And I just loved that. I really hope that the city gets cleaned up more. I feel there's a lot of security. There's a lot of police presence lately on the train. So I take the train a lot. But it's like at night, there's just guys talking to themselves.
Yeah.
The city comes up and down, and we have to get a really good mayor. And, I hate to say this, everybody hates Giuliani, but when he was mayor, he was a good mayor. And Bloomberg was a really good mayor. He didn't need a penny, he didn't need anything. He just did what he did. And I think he would have made a great president, but he was going to run, but then he didn't. He loved the city. He lives in the city. One day I was going to meet this designer and his address was 79th Street. So I go, and his name was Michael. So I go to the bell and I'm like, is Michael there? I ring it and they're like, oh, he's at work now. I'm like, well, I have an appointment with him. Really? And it turned out I knocked on Michael Bloomberg's door. I was across the street. And then I went back. I'm like, oh my God, I just went to Michael Bloomberg. It was before he was mayor. But yeah, he loves the city. And I just want someone that loves the city to be mayor, that knows the city. No, I think we need some new blood. I really don't know. I'm not thrilled. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and it's going to be for 4 years, and we'll just deal with whatever happens, because that's just the way New York is. You just deal with it.
Yeah,
Shit
thank you.
happens.
I needed that. I needed that.
Advice to girls and boys out there who don't live in New York who want to come to this city. What would be your advice to other fashionistas who want to make it, whether it's in journalism, in design? What would you tell them?
You know what? Just do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Because you could be, I don't have enough money for this. You just come and you'll figure it out. So many people came here with $5 and they got jobs and they did it. Come with a friend, share a room, get a job, and just do it. Because it's easy for someone to say no, because once they say no, they don't have to do anything. But if you say, yes, I'm going to do it, you have to actually do something.
I agree with that.
If fashion wasn't your career, what would you be doing?
Well, right now, you know what? I love animals, and I'm thinking I would have loved to be a vet or something.
You are a dog mom, correct? Of two?
Two. They're on the bed, lounging. Come here. Esme, come here. Oh, I think she's coming. Chihuahua.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Oh, here she is. Here's Esme.
Oh, I love it.
She's like devil dog. I love her. I couldn't live without dogs.
I know mine passed away last November, and honestly, I'm just now maybe getting over it. And you're making me think, I'm like, I need another,
You should get another one,
She took care of her parents' dog last week in Sunny Isles when she was here in Miami, and it was the cutest.
Lorenzo. I know Lorenzo was so cute, and it made me realize I need another one.
They're so happy to see you, no matter if you've gone for 5 minutes or 5 hours. They don't know. They don't care if you smell good or you're wearing perfume or you're wearing makeup. They don't care. They just love you unconditionally.
Exactly.
And everyone says that, but look at her. She's so sweet.
No,
I love her. Oh, she's giving me kisses.
Oh my God. Oh, look at that. I love it.
Oh, I love her.
We're pressed for time, so we're going to move right on to Schmooze Fest. Liz, take it away.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I guess so. As I'll ever be. I don't know. Am I? Yeah.
First fashion show you crashed.
Well, I guess it wasn't really a crash. It was Halston. And I used to go and sell jewelry. I had a little of my own business way, way, way back. I would go and buy jewelry and then sell it in the garment center, when you can just go around into every showroom. And I went up to Halston. He was hot at the time. And the girl was, oh, you can't do this. We can't let you in. We don't allow peddlers. I'm sorry. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come back next week. It's really good stuff. Just relax. I'll come. I went back 2 or 3 times, and she finally was so tired of me. Okay, what do you have? And she let me show her, and she liked my stuff. And then she took me into the showroom and called all the girls out, all the sales ladies, and they all came out and they all started buying stuff from me. And I knew everybody's payday, because I would say, just take it and I'll come back Friday and you could pay me. So that's how the first show. And then I said, oh my God, I want to go to one of the shows. Can you get me in? And I wasn't doing anything in fashion then other than just selling my jewelry. And she's like, okay, come. And I went to, it was at the tower, the Olympic Tower at that time. I think he had a showroom. And they got me a seat. And Pat Cleveland just walked down the runway, opened up this Halston compact, fixed her lipstick, twirled around and walked. And I thought, oh my God, this is like phenomenal. So that was one of the first shows that I ever really...
She had quite a walk, didn't she?
She was fab. I mean, that was when the girls were really like styled. They were just, personalities too.
Next question. What's in your bag right now? I know New York women, either you have like a huge bag or whatever. What's in your bag?
God.
It's surprise.
It's disaster. This is, I don't even know what's in here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Tissue.
It's like Mary Poppins.
It is. It's like you never know what you're going to get out here. So I just keep putting stuff in.
What's the one thing you can't leave home without?
My lipstick.
Favorite New York deli order?
Oh, Katz's pastrami with extra mustard.
Yes. Okay, I love it. What's the last book that you read?
You know what? I forgot the name of it. It was really depressing. I didn't finish it. It was something like The World at War and what would happen in the first minutes of if there was some nuclear war.
Oh,
my God. He gave it to me. He's really intense. So I started to read it and I'm like, oh my God, like we're all going to be done for. So that's the last book.
Okay. So on that note, what's the one garment you're taking should you need to leave and evacuate New York City? You can only take one item.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's a good
probably a
one.
Schiaparelli coat. Like
Ooh,
Schiaparelli coat.
Daniel Rossberry or Elsa?
Daniel,
I like it. You got to look
next,
fabulous even when the
next.
world's ending. Favorite city to shop in, I guess outside of New York because of New York's fabulous to shop.
Outside of New York, Paris is nice. Everywhere you go now, there's the same stores.
No.
So, I mean, for me, really, New York is the best. I was just away in Switzerland. I didn't buy anything. I bought.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's
Wow.
hard to
I
do.
mean, I'm impressed with myself. I know it's
We
amazing.
love your chocolate, Switzerland, but step it up.
Yeah, they do have good
Um,
chocolate. I did buy
did
chocolate.
you? Okay, but that doesn't count. No. One designer head to toe. Who would it be? I think I know,
Well,
maybe.
I
No.
cannot make that promise, Liz. Like I
Okay.
cannot do one designer for the rest of my life.
I
But
know,
right
it's too
now,
hard.
I'm into Dries Van Noten. I'm loving this new guy because I wear black 99% of the time, and now I just decided I want to do some color, and it's just
Mm,
using these rich fabrics and colors, and that's what I'm wanting to buy now for
okay.
for fall.
I love that. Most expensive item that you were either gifted or you purchased.
Most expensive item. You know what? I think it was a coat from Prada. It was a Dalmatian kind of coat from
Ooh,
Mucha Prada. I interviewed her and she sent me this gift. I mean, people were
wow.
pretty generous back in the day.
Wow. That's a
It was
pretty
a
good
really nice
one.
coat. Yeah.
Mucha, if you want to send anything our way, we'll send you the address off the line.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind, but I'm keeping it all, honey. I don't
What
get much stuff. I mean, I'm not really doing much anymore. It's a different time
do you think that is?
because money's tough, and I think everybody cut
Um,
back. I mean, they used to take you to lunch and go for
hmm
this and that. It's just, I made the Vogue girls used to have car
hmm
services. I go with them. Oh, are you going to the next show? Because I didn't have, and they're like, oh yeah, come with us. It's just a whole nother world now. Money is really tight.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to hold on to it, and the
Well,
cost of
it's
everything.
so, but it's a shame because I feel you lose out on that like interpersonal relationship, and that's like where the fun is, and that's where you really build these like interesting stories. And
I know.
anyway,
Well, who knows? Maybe it'll go back, but it would have to get smaller for that to happen. So they
yeah,
can't accommodate 50 interviews backstage at a
right,
show. Like they just can't do it. They
right.
never get any work done.
Ready for you to bring the show back, but
Well, I
anyway,
am too. Talk to
yeah.
someone, get some money, and I'll do it.
All right, we're on it.
I think fashion needs it. I'm so sick of the same thing.
I would do it if like I got a sponsor and I was making some money.
Right,
Because like
right.
everyone's doing that. Look at you guys. You got to make a living. This is not a money making. You do it for the love of it. And I
Right.
did
The
that.
the
I
goal is to get the money too.
She's
Yeah.
already been there, done that. So show her the money.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
We're
So
Yeah.
looking for some shekels over here.
lots of shekels, and
Lots
it's
of
hard because
shekels.
there's a million people doing what you're doing, what I was doing, shooting on their own.
Sure, but there's only one Lauren Ezersky, so not for nothing. Like, come on.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't even know anybody anymore that has the power.
yeah.
All right,
But
Santini Donovan at CAA. We're going to get agent right now.
All right, well that sounds good because people want to see the show. I
they
mean, I
really
think
do.
All right, time for a quick game of this or that with Miss Lauren Ezersky. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Galliano in the 90s or Mcqueen in the 2000s?
Ooh, Galileo in the '90s,
Central Park or Washington Square Park?
Central Park,
Spring summer wardrobe or fall winter
fall,
wardrobe?
winter, no doubt.
Dinner at Balthazar or drinks at the Odeon?
Dinner at Balthazar,
Yeah.
Barney's or Bergdorf's?
Bergdorf,
Tom Ford for Gucci or Tom Ford for Saint Laurent?
Tom Ford for Gucci.
Tom Ford for
Mhm.
Gucci.
Love.
Custom couture gown or perfectly tailored suit?
Now that's a tough one. I'm
Hmm.
going to say custom gown.
Yeah.
Why not?
Knitted Chanel or Rossberry Schiaparelli?
Roseberry.
Old Studio 54 or 90s Bungalow 8?
Old Studio 54.
First class on Emirates or first class on Orient Express train travel?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tie. I'm not giving you an answer.
Okay.
That's a tie.
Vuitton luggage or Goyard luggage?
I think I have Louis Vuitton, so I guess I'll stick with that.
The New Yorker or New York Magazine?
Ooh, that's rough. Probably New York Magazine, lighter and fluffier.
Mhm.
Hello, the cut. Caviar on a baked potato at Caspia or caviar on a latke from Zabar's?
Ooh, oh my God, these are so difficult choices. Oh my God. Probably caviar at Caspia.
I like
Okay,
it.
last one, last one. Gossip-filled lunch or orchestra seat matinee?
Orchestra seat matinee.
I love that answer.
Amazing.
Okay, Nosh of the day, where we discuss our recent favorite restaurant or where we want to go next.
Okay.
Jason?
My number one is Harry's Table on Riverside Boulevard on the Upper West Side. It's owned by Cipriani. It's a great nosh. They have a great seafood salad. Liz, you're up.
I just want to highlight this week, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I went to Sweet Greens for salad, very cheap, good for lunch. But they had this whole AI automation where there's no people anymore. You put in your order
Okay,
and
neither one of them. I go to Fresh and Company. I
oh,
love Fresh and Company. You tell them what you want, and they make you a salad. My favorite ever, and it's
You're
oh,
like
talking to
20
someone, right?
bucks. It's like so good. It's so
oh,
good.
all right. I got to go to Fresh and Company.
Lauren, what's your bagel order?
Bagel with scallion cream cheese and lots of raw onion on an everything bagel.
I love it.
Excellent.
Our last segment, it's mitzvah of the day. So it's our time to take a break from the hustle and spotlight everyday acts of kindness. I know you're at charity events quite a bit. What's your mitzvah of the day?
This is really interesting that you asked this because the other day I was at Starbucks and I was leaving and I had a Frappuccino, which I love. I'm addicted to them. I have to get one every day. But anyway, there was this woman, young girl with a baby carriage, and she was trying to get out. And three guys, young men, whatever, walked right past her and didn't hold the door for her.
Oh,
And I held the door. I'm like, I cannot
yeah.
believe that. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. And she just looked like, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I was really
Right, gentlemen out there, you hold the door open for mother.
Man,
Yeah,
come
she was a young girl. Like,
on.
what's the big deal? So I just did it.
That is a
Well,
mitzvah.
that wraps this episode with the iconic Lauren Ezersky pinch me. Did this really happen? Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Liz and Lauren, please read us out.
Right, the hustle is real.
The schmear is extra.
Thank you so
Lauren.
much.